Hello, in this video I will show you how easy it is to interact with the MultiversX blockchain inside Unity Engine using Xportal app. I have here a simple scene with an empty image component where a QR code will be displayed and a button for deep linking. When a wallet is connected, the connected holder will become active. It contains an empty image to display the user's profile pictures and 3 text fields for address, hero tag and EGLD balance. There is also a disconnect button. I have a test script that already contains the references of the objects inside the scene. The first thing you want to do in order to be able to connect using Xportal is to set up some wallet connect parameters. Open the settings window and enter your app description, app icon, which needs to be stored on your web server, your app name, and your app website. Those will appear inside Xportal when a user tries to connect. Then you have to select your network. Only use mainnet when your app is ready to launch. The Wallet Connect project ID can be obtained from the Wallet Connect website. The safe path is relative to the persistent data path and the sessions will be stored there. After all is set, press save and close the window. Now let's move to script. I will enable by default the login holder, and after the wallet is connected, the connected holder will be enabled. I am using a bool to toggle them on and off. Now, start the connect session by calling the connect method. It has 3 callbacks: the connected callback, the disconnected, and the session connected, and an image to display the QR code. If you don't need the QR code, press None. Generate all callbacks methods. The session connected method is called when the URL needed to connect is generated. Use this method to enable your deep link button or the QR code holder. On this connected method is called if a disconnect event is triggered from the app or from Xportal. Here I will load the connect screen. Inside onConnected method you will receive the connected account as a parameter. Check if the status is success and activate the connected screen. Else I will just log the error inside the console. I will do a simple test. The login button becomes interactable only when the QR code is displayed. I will log in with the Xportal. Now I will create 2 methods. First, for deep linking. If your app is on Android or iOS, you are not able to scan a QR code, so you have to use a button for login. And the second method for disconnecting. Link the 2 created methods to the corresponding buttons. As you can see, I am already connected from last time. If I use the disconnect button, the app will disconnect and the screen will change. Now, I want to get some information about the connected user, and for that, I will create an update display method. The result.data represents the connected account. Here, I will display the connected account's address, the hero tag, and the EGLD balance. Now, I will load the profile picture from Xportal and display it inside the profile picture image. The picture load complete callback will trigger when the loading is done, and I will change the color to white since by default I choose a color that is not visible against the background in case the user does not have a profile picture. If something is wrong, I will log the error message. I will log in using my Xportal app. As you can see, I have the image and the address. I don't have a hero tag set up on DevNet, so that is correct. But the EGLD is 0. This is because the account is not refreshed. When the app connects, it returns the address of the account. You need to perform a call to the blockchain to get the information from the account by using the refresh account method. Inside the callback, if successful, I will update the display values. I am already connected from last time, and now the balance is correctly displayed. Now I will show you how to make an EGLD transaction using a button. Call the send EGLD transaction with the following parameters: the destination address, the value you want to send as a string, a custom message if you want, and the callback method. Inside the complete method, you can check the status of your transaction. If in progress, it means that it is waiting for the user to sign it inside the X-Portal. If the status is error, something went wrong, so check the error message. If it is successful, the X-Portal app has signed your transaction and the transaction was broadcasted to the blockchain to be processed. Using the check transaction status, you can check if the transaction was processed or not by the blockchain. The last parameter represents how often the blockchain should be interrogated for the transaction status. The result.data field contains the hash of your transactions. The transaction process callback will notify you in what state your transaction is. If the status is in progress, the transaction was not yet processed. I will display here the transaction hash and the status. You can submit multiple transactions at once for signing, that's why an array of transactions is returned. If the transaction is successful, I will refresh the account. If there was an error, you can check the error message, but also the get logs method of your transactions for more info. Now, link the method to a button and test it. As you can see, the transaction pops inside the X-Portal, and after you sign it, it will have a pending status until it will be processed. When successful, the account is refreshed. Now let's send an ESDT token. I will use USDC, but the process is the same. First, create an ESDT with the properties of the token you want to send. Get the token identifier from the Explorer and the number of decimal places. Now you are ready to transfer any quantity of that token very easily. Set the destination address, the ESDT token you want to send, and the value. And as a callback method, I will use the same method I created earlier. That's it. Just attach the method to a button and test. Sign the transaction inside the X-Portal. If you want to verify the status of your transaction, you can copy the transaction hash and check it on the Blockchain Explorer. Next, let's query a smart contract. For this, I use the adder smart contract and I publish it on the blockchain. Copy the address of the smart contract, then copy the method name you want to call from the view attribute. Define a callback method and pass the return type. in this case a big unsigned integer. Also specify that you want to receive a numeric value type. If the result is successful, the data will be the sum from the smart contract, else log an error. Assign the method to a button. Smart contract queries are used to get stored value from smart contracts. They do not require a transaction to be executed. Now let's increase the value stored in the smart contract by creating a smart contract call. Pass the smart contract address, the method you want to call, the gas required, the complete method created earlier, and the parameters, in this case a numeric value of type big unsigned int. And I will pass 10 for the value. Assign this method to a button and let's test it. Notice the sum before, call the method, sign the transaction, wait for it to be processed, and query the new sum. The last method I will show you in this tutorial is the send NFT method. For that, you need the destination address. The collection identifier can be found in Explorer for the NFT you want to send. The nonce is the number displayed after the collection identifier. It needs to be transformed from hexa to decimal. You can use any converter for that. In this case, the decimal number is 25. Add the quantity, usually 1, and the complete method callback. Assign this method to a button also and test it. X-Portal is notified to sign the transaction with the NFT. After signing, the transaction is processed and everything works as expected. If you disconnect from X-Portal, an event will be sent to your Unity app and it will also disconnect. If you want more advanced examples of how to work with tokens and NFTs, check the demo scene included inside the repository. There, you will find how to load all tokens and NFTs from a wallet, also how to send an NFT just by clicking on it. Please check it out. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you will find this plugin very easy to use. Best of luck with your blockchain games.